Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all had a great day. In a few minutes, I'm gonna collect some juicy Chimera rewards, and then I'm gonna show you what I think is the best way to craft relics. Before we start, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And now let's get back to the video. Alright, so let's see. The first rotation is about to end, guys. And there we go, we got the second rotation. So let's collect the Chimera Clash reward first. We placed first with our clan. And we got a 3-star Basalt, which is huge. We got a 2-star as well, which is really nice. Some clan gold, alright. A Revival Gemstone, Revival Blessing. Allies revived by the wearer are additionally healed by 10% of the wearer's HP. That's actually interesting because it's 10% of the wearer's HP. That can be actually pretty huge. Then Carved Open. The wearer's default skill will ignore 10% of the target's resistance. Can be okay. Not a bad one, but also not a crazy good one, I guess. But 10% of resistance is actually a lot. Yeah, so nice Clash rewards. Now let's see, what do we get from Nightmare? It's a top chest. Another 2-star Basalt. Nice, 42 rare Ocular Masses. 15 epic ones, 3 legendary ones. And 2 fragments, which is very nice. Now let's see, can we get another 2 fragments? Okay, we got 1, so we got 3 fragments from Nightmare. We got another 2-star Basalt, some Star Stones, another 42 Ocular Masses, 15 Epic, 3 Legendary. Now from Ultra Nightmare, let's see. Another 2-star Basalt, 2 fragments again. 34 Ram Ocular Masses, a little bit less than from Nightmare. 18 epic, a little bit more than from Nightmare, as well as legendary ones. No Basalt this time. So we got 6 fragments in total. And actually quite a bit more epic masses this time. 6 legendary, also not bad. And 34 rare. Okay, and this gemstone here, Destructive Accuracy, I think I had this one already. But this one is actually a really nice one for like bomb champions. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's see what actually changed this rotation. Alright, so, wow. So the Chimera is actually Force. And the other heads like Ram, Lion, and Viper is going to be magic. Wow, okay, so Force champions are the way to go this time around. Actually, Force champions will dominate this this rotation. That's actually interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the normal form will always stay in Void. But alright. I think I can come up with something in this rotation. We will see. But let's go to the forge and see what we can craft. Okay, so we got 199 rare masses. I'm like literally short by 1 Ocular Mass to hit the 200. 135 epic, 93 legendary. Also really unfortunate to not have 100 here, but that's fine. Let's take a look at the chances. Let's use the rare ones only first. Let me show you. So we got an 84% chance almost. So most of the time it's going to be a rare relic here with rare only, which makes totally sense. We got a 15.5% chance to get an epic, which is quite fair. 0.5 chance to get a legendary. That's like pulling a legendary from a ancient shard. And then 0.01% to get a mythical. So that's like almost impossible, right? Now, if we only use epic masses, you can see, like, doesn't matter how many I put in here, the chances do not change. If you put in masses from the same rarity, even with epics, you will have a 60% chance to get a rare relic. Only a 36, almost a 36% chance to get an epic, 4% to get a legendary, and 0.05% to get a mythical. Most of the time you will get a rare relic here, even if you just use epic ocular masses, but you have a significantly higher chance to get an epic relic, which is also fair. Now let's take a look at the legendary one, because that's where it gets interesting. So as you can see, with legendary ones, you have a 0% chance to get a rare. So it's guaranteed at least an epic relic, right? Which is pretty nice. A 39.5% chance to get a legendary, quite high, right? If you compare it to only epics, it's a 4% chance to get a legendary and a 36% chance to get an epic. And if you put a legendary in here, 60%, it almost doubles the chance to get an epic, and the chance to get a legendary relic is 10 times higher. Also, the chance to get a mythical relic here becomes relatively achievable, but is still very, very low, right? Comparable with an ancient shard or a void shard to get a legendary champion. So unfortunately, I cannot show you what it looks like if you just use mythical ocular masses, because it's really hard to get them. You need to complete trials. That's the only way to get those. But I saw a couple screenshots from other people. When you use mythical ocular masses, it's pretty much a 20% chance to get a mythical and an 80% chance to get a legendary. If you use mythical only, that means you will get a guaranteed legendary, at least a legendary relic, and you have a 20% chance to get a mythical relic, which is the highest chance you can possibly get. It gets problematic if you start mixing these ocular masses, because as you can see with the legendary ones, right, like we already talked about, you have a 0% chance to get a rare relic if you use legendary only. And it doesn't really matter how many of those you add, the chances won't change if it's from the same rarity. Now, if I would like just add one epic here, you can see there's suddenly a chance to get a rare relic, which you might want to avoid, because you will get so many rare relics from those rare ocular masses that this is probably not a good idea. So what I would do, what I would suggest anybody is to use, if you're using legendary ocular masses, try to get to 100 and only use the legendary ones, right? Because you will get a guaranteed epic and you have a fair chance for a legendary relic. Now, if I would just use 50 legendary ocular masses, put one epic in, and the rare, you can see it's like almost a 50% chance to get a rare relic. So you kind of like, so most of the time you will waste those legendary ocular masses. If you ask me, in my opinion, you should only craft those relics with one type of rarity. For example, only epics, because you will have a higher chance to get an epic relic, which are pretty strong, some of them. Yes, you still have a 60% chance to get a rare relic, but I don't think it's worth it to mix them with rare relics, because suddenly it's a 75% chance, for example. So the more rare ocular masses you mix in here, the higher gets the chance to get a rare relic, and you will get plenty of those rare ocular masses anyway. So I would only use one type of rarity. I wouldn't start mixing those, even though you're most likely going to get a rare relic here. But I don't see the reason to go to mix them. The only two rarities you should do it with should be epic and rare, because if you do it with like legendary ones, you're pretty much wasting the legendary ocular masses, because if you only use the legendary ones, you have a 0% chance to get a rare relic, right? And it's a guaranteed epic. So you have to keep that in mind before you craft relics. Even if you don't have enough of those, right? Don't just go all in if you're trying to, be efficient with your ocular masses. Of course, you can always gamble, right? You can do something like this. There's still a chance to get that legendary relic, and it might still happen, but there's also a chance to get a rare relic, right? So it's not really worth it, in my opinion. The most efficient way to do it is just use one type of rarity to craft relics, and that's about it. Let's see what we can craft here. I will craft a total of 2 relics, and I will use the rare ones only. And let's see. Okay, we got a rare one. The wearers receive 5% less damage from enemies under a provoke debuff. I don't think this is a good one. Now let's see, what do we get from the epic ones? 60% chance to get a rare, and almost 36% chance to get an epic. So let's see. Oh, that's actually a good one. Even though it's a rare relic, I didn't have this one yet. But this one is actually amazing. Because it has crit damage, right? Which is always nice. And then the effect is also pretty good. The wearer has a 20% chance to deal 10% more damage when attacking. So this is pretty cool. A really nice rare relic. One of the best rare ones out there, actually. So as you can see, even if you use just epic masses, there's still a higher chance to get a rare relic, and most of the time you will get something like this. But there are quite a few good rare ones out there. For example, this Journal of Necrotos is really nice for like turn meter boosters. Then you have like this Talon, what I just crafted, where you can get a lot of crit damage and a chance to deal 10% more damage. This can boost your damage significantly, especially in like, Hydra fights. Then you have this Tempus Sanguinis, which is nice for like turn meter reduction champions, Shuzan, Lysandra, Eostrid. I think she does that too. So really good for those type of champions. And then you also have this Molten Death Bell, which is nice for like control champions. Could be cool to use on a Mikage, an Armans, and just champions that stun and put sleep, fear, true fear, and all those control debuffs. So as you can see, there are quite a few rare relics which are also worth to upgrade. And let's actually take a look. Let's go to the collection, and this is the one I just pulled. Now, how do I upgrade them? If I like a relic, for example, this one that I just crafted is pretty nice. I would love to use this one on one of my damage dealers for either Arena or a Hydra. And it's pretty much the same as if you would level a champion, right? So you click on upgrade here. So it's a 1-star at the moment. And if the relic is a 1-star, you can level it to level 3, as you can see here with star stones. So let's do that real quick. So now it's level 3, right? And the more levels you put into this, the higher those stats will get. Now, level 3 is the max level for a 1-star relic. And now what you have to do is upgrade the rank. And to upgrade the rank, you have to use either a 1-star basalt, which is kind of like a chicken that you would use for a champion, or you use another 1-star relic. Now, in my case, when you're farming the highest difficulties, Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, there's no way to get a 1-star basalt because the lowest that can drop from those chests are like 2-star basalts and 3-star basalts from Chimera Clash. So there's absolutely no way for me to get 1-star basalts. So the only way to upgrade 1-star relics, the rare ones, because epics come with like it's 2-star already. So the 1-stars I can only upgrade with other 1-star relics, right? Other rare relics. There's no other way for me. What I'm doing basically is feeding the relics that I don't want and need. For example, this one, because it just reduces the damage a little bit if you provoke the target. And I'm not using that many provokers, actually, and I'm not interested in that type of effect. So I will feed it to this one because I think I will benefit from this relic much more than from this one. So then you feed it to this, get it to 2-star, and now you have to level it up again. Same as a champion, right? Now it's the max level is level 6. As you can see, the crit damage went up again. And now what I would have to do is either you use another 2-star relic or a 2-star basalt, right? The chickens, basically. And that's how you upgrade your relic. That's how I do it. So I don't know when they're gonna add higher basalts to the game. As you can see, they're already listed here, 4-star basalts and 5-star basalts. But the only way right now to get a relic to 6-star, to the max level, is to, level up 1-star relics to 5 and use them as chickens, basically. So that's the only way right now to max out a relic. But I'm 100% sure they're gonna introduce those 4-star and 5-star basalts pretty soon. And most likely they're gonna be monetized, like always, like with stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it about how I craft my relics and how to upgrade them. And I hope you guys have more luck than me with your crafting of relics. Hope you get something really nice. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and see you in the next video.